I remember staring at my bank account in complete disbelief. Everything I spent decades building was suddenly gone.
Welcome to God Showed Up Stories. Today's story is for anyone who has ever felt financially devastated, anyone who thought they were finally secure, and anyone wondering how they're supposed to start over later in life. One thing many people don't talk about is how terrifying financial loss feels when you're older. After years of hard work, sacrifice, and planning, watching it disappear can feel emotionally crushing. But today's story is a reminder that even when life collapses unexpectedly, God is still able to provide, restore hope, and open doors we never saw coming. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, comment below where you're watching from, and share this story with someone who may need encouragement today. Now let's get into the story.
I spent nearly 40 years working the same job. Early mornings, long shifts, missed weekends, stress, sacrifice. But through all of it, I kept telling myself one thing. One day, I'll finally be able to relax. And honestly, that dream kept me going for decades. I wasn't rich, not even close, but I was careful, responsible. Every paycheck, I saved something, little by little. Year after year, my retirement account slowly grew. And by the time I reached my mid-60s, I finally felt secure. Not wealthy, just safe. Safe enough to breathe a little easier. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one morning, looking over retirement paperwork and thinking, I made it. Honestly, that feeling didn't last long. A few months later, everything changed. There had been warning signs in the economy for a while, but like many people, I didn't think things would become that serious. Then the market crashed harder than I had ever seen before. Every day, my account balance dropped lower, and lower, and lower. At first, I kept trying to stay calm, telling myself things would recover. But honestly, deep down, I was terrified. Then, one afternoon, I opened my account online and just stared at the screen. Years of savings were suddenly devastated. Decades of sacrifice, gone. I remember feeling physically sick. My chest tightened, my hands shook, and honestly, I felt completely helpless. At my age, starting over financially felt impossible. I barely slept during that season. Every night, I sat awake, running numbers in my head. Bills, medical costs, groceries, housing. Fear completely consumed my mind. I stopped answering phone calls sometimes because I didn't even know how to explain what I was feeling. And honestly, the embarrassment hurt almost as much as the financial loss itself. Because I had always tried to be responsible, always tried to do things the right way. But suddenly, none of it felt like enough. One evening, I sat alone at my kitchen table, surrounded by unopened bills. Rain hit the windows softly outside. The house felt quiet, heavy, and honestly, that night nearly broke me emotionally. I remember lowering my head into my hands and whispering, God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Because honestly, I truly didn't. For the first time in my life, I felt old, scared, and uncertain about the future. But little by little, something unexpected started happening. Not instantly, not dramatically, but quietly. A close friend from church called me one morning and asked if I would help part-time with bookkeeping for a small local business. At first, I almost said no. I didn't feel emotionally ready for anything. But eventually, I agreed. And honestly, that small opportunity became the beginning of everything changing. The work wasn't glamorous, but it gave me purpose again, routine again, hope again. Then, over the next several months, other small opportunities started appearing. Unexpected financial help, temporary consulting work, church members bringing meals, neighbors checking in on me. And honestly, what surprised me most wasn't just the financial help, it was the kindness. Because during the season I felt most afraid, God surrounded me with people who reminded me I wasn't alone. Slowly, the fear that had consumed me started loosening its grip, and for the first time in months, I started sleeping peacefully again. Today, I still wish I hadn't lost those savings, but looking back now, I realize God never stopped providing for me. Not once. Maybe not in the way I originally expected, but in the exact way I needed. And honestly, that season changed my faith forever. Because sometimes, when we lose the things we trusted for security, God reminds us where our true security actually comes from. So if you're struggling financially right now, please hear this carefully. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. And even when the future feels uncertain, God can still make a way where there seems to be none.
If this story encouraged you today, comment "God showed up" down below. And if God has ever provided for you during a difficult season, comment "God made a way." Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to God Showed Up Stories, and turn on your notifications so you never miss another powerful testimony. And share this video with someone who may be struggling financially right now. Thanks for watching. And remember, God always shows up right on time.